Meditation is an essential step to develop on the path to enlightenment. Even in our daily lives, we can see that with good concentration, we accomplish much more work of better quality. Without a stable mind, we're like a candle sitting in the wind. We're vulnerable to negative influences and don't have much power to progress on a spiritual path. All Buddhist masters have relied on meditation to gain realizations. And if we look at the benefits, it's easy to see why. We feel more happy, balanced, and focused. And we experience a sense of inner peace. But meditation is much more than a way to relax and feel happy. It's a proven method for us to experience the true nature of reality, the true nature of our minds.
The beneficial results of any positive action that we do can be vast or limited depending on our motivation. And this is just as true of meditation as it is of any other spiritual activity that we undertake. If, for example, our motivation focuses primarily on our own concerns and needs in a self-centered kind of way, then the positive results of this will be very limited. If, on the other hand, we focus more on becoming better persons, able to bring peace and happiness and harmony to those around us, then the beneficial results of this kind of meditation will be very vast indeed. Therefore, at the beginning of this second program in our series, How to Meditate, in which you'll be learning the skills of meditation, it's especially important to generate a positive and altruistic motivation, wishing to become a better person in order to be able to bring well-being, peace, and happiness to those around you.
So
when we speak about meditation, what do we mean by meditation? Meditation is a discipline where you cultivate certain familiarity with the chosen object of meditation. Generally, the problem is that in our normal day-to-day life, in our unreflective states of mind, generally we let ourselves to be under the control and domination of our mind, and our mind comes under the domination of afflictive emotions and thoughts. And because of this, then it leads to influencing our states of mind on the whole to be overwhelmed by destructive and negative emotions and thoughts, which then perpetuates the whole cycle of problems, confusion, suffering, and so on. So what are we seeking in our spiritual practice is to try to reverse that cycle so that gradually we will be in a position to take charge of our mind and prevent the mind from coming under the domination and influence of our negative impulses and thoughts. So the way in which we do this is to engage in a constant discipline of cultivation of this familiarity with the chosen object, so that we will be able to gain a certain stability of mind where we have the capacity to place our mind and allow it to abide single-pointedly with a degree of stability upon a certain chosen object. And here, when we speak about chosen object, we are of course talking about a positive object upon which we direct our thoughts and then cultivate familiarity with it, so that in this way gradually we'll be able to reverse the cycle. And this is the actual meaning and purpose of meditation in the Buddhist context. Therefore, we observe that the process of change that takes place within us is gradual. Similarly, when we are trying to dispel certain states of confusion or misunderstanding or misperceptions with regard to reality, again that sort of process of illumination, the process of dispelling, comes through in a gradual way. Again, we can observe from our own personal experience. So in the actual process of meditation, there are principally two approaches. One is the analytic meditation, the other one is placement meditation or absorptive meditation. So in a sense, we are all familiar with the practices of analytic meditation and absorptive meditation. So what, as spiritual practitioners, what we are trying to do is to apply this very mechanism which we are all naturally familiar with onto a completely new area in a realm where we do not cultivate such familiarity, the realm of spiritual practice, the realm of enhancing positive qualities within us.
To have a mind where you can control your thought and your emotion is incredible. Without speaking about getting spiritual realization, just to be able to say stop to the thought when you want, to say stop to the emotion when you want, to have that capacity to be master of your own mind, to be able to say, oh, these thoughts stop, these emotions stop, now I have enough of you. And to be, whenever you want, you can stay still, So to have this capacity is an incredible, peace of mind, an incredible advantage, Suddenly you become master of your own mind. If you want to develop any qualities of mind, you need some mindfulness, some continuity in what meditation you do, For example, you meditate on love. If your mind of meditating on love gets constantly interrupted by other thoughts, there's no way that you will have the ability to develop a strong love, Same thing if you meditate about the nature of reality, how things really exist. If you have this inquiring mind which follows a stream of thought and wants to reach a conclusion and stay on it, you have to have had a concentrated mind which is able to follow the analysis without being distracted. And once you reach a conclusion, to look at it and and see what it implies. You know, you must be able to stay on the conclusion of your analysis and see what it implies, how it changes your whole worldview, you know, based on that conclusion you have reached. So in order for that to function, again, you need to have a calm mind. You know? If you have more, we have control over our mind, you know. What happens is that instead of going constantly up and down like a yo-yo, you know, being overly excited when something good happens and completely depressed when things go wrong, you know, our usual mind, you know. So with concentration, your mind becomes much more even. That evenness of mind actually is a type of joy, a type of peace, which is so pleasant. Much more pleasant actually than even the excitement of pleasure. You know, to have this still inside, you know, is much more pleasant than having good news and good things happening out there. With time, we see that what we call pleasure, excitement, actually is a form of suffering. You know, it's not real happiness, it's excitement, and it's like boiling water. You know, there's no peace, no serenity in what we call pleasure. You know? But this we see by practicing. So that's why I think effort put into concentration, into developing calm abiding, I think is very important. And we can do that in everyday life. It doesn't need necessarily to go into retreat to do that. You know, you just know how to go about it, and you have to know how to integrate it into your everyday life. In order to develop calm abiding, there are certain conditions, you know, which help. So all these conditions we can gather in our everyday life. You know, we don't need necessarily to go to a complete isolated place. It just means having little desire, be content with one's life situation, you know, and have a little bit of peaceful environment. You know. So even though one might have a family life, still we can wake up an earlier before everybody else and do some calm abiding then. You know, or at the evening when everybody's at bed, or when the children are at school, or something like that. One can find a place, a time in a day, you know, if one wants it, for a peaceful meditation. So the first is to have, you see, wishing to do the meditation, you know, by seeing its advantage, then developing the determination, I'm going to do it, and for such amount of time I'm not going to lose the object, you know. And then is to develop the mindfulness of holding the object without losing it. And once you're able to do that, then you use introspection to check the quality of your concentration. And then to make it more precise, you know, if you're prone to dullness, then you hold the object more intensely. If you have too much excitement, you lose, you know, you relax it to be the grip on your object, you know, and like that, slowly you find the middle way, you know, and you're able to hold on to it. So that's a little bit the process, how one goes about it. And by doing that, you know, one goes through 9 stages. Just in brief, I will go a little bit over that. So when one starts meditating on calm abiding and sits down, you know, and say, okay, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes, you know, I will